Y'all, I look wow today. But anywho, to God be the glory. I'm always in the car, but it comes along with the job. So, anywho, nothing and not complaining about that. But I wanted to get on here briefly just to talk about the season of the block. I'm just so taken back. Just the stuff that God does when it comes to my walk, or when it comes to the faith walk. One of the things that I see that God oftentimes tells me or remind me in His Word about the seasons of paying attention. And they always say in His Word, He says, if you pay attention to all that I command you, that your life will flow like a peaceful river. It's in the book of Deuteronomy. I didn't get a chance to look it up, so just understand God puts things in my mouth. So I just trust God with how He allows me to recite the word. But I know it's in the book of Deuteronomy. I can't remember quite which chapter, but I know it's in between 27 and 31 or something like that. But anywho, one of the things that I love about God, it's just how He gives me revelations on people's response, or just revelations on things. Like, God can speak something to you and you will hear it, but sometimes you be like, okay, God, I hear you. But let me tell y'all, homeboy has given me such a revelation about paying attention to His commands, and that my life will flow like a peaceful river. It is something about God when He blocks us from things, people, and situations so that we can stay affirmed in the things pertaining to what He has destined for us to fulfill, and what He want to manifest for your life. And so one of the things about me that I just saw, I was in the store and I had a young lady, a woman that I met, that I know personally, and I'm laughing because I was so baffled by just a comment she made. And I'm like, okay, God. And I just kept walking, and she walked off because she was doing whatever she was doing in the store. And the thing that tickled me, I kept hearing God say, I blocked it. And so about a year ago around this time, the Lord had dropped in my spirit. He said, you're gonna go through a season where I'm going to separate you from people, things, and situations that does not concern you, nor the purpose or the mantle that I have on your life, because of the place where I'm getting ready to shift you to. That means that God is saying for me to encourage you all, don't be dismayed by the separation that is taking place. Don't be dismayed by the block. God is blocking these things, these situations, these circumstances, these encounters, and people for a reason. It's not that He doesn't want us to be connected, but we have to be cognizant to who we are connecting to. Everybody who we connect to are not going to hold value or interest to where God is going. That doesn't go to say that they're bad people. So let me explain that. That doesn't go to say that she's a bad person, because she wasn't. She's an incredible woman. But it was just something, when she made the comment, God said, I blocked it. And so when she told me, she said, well, where were you when I had my party? And I was like, what you mean? So that was my comment back. I was like, well, as we were rehearsing, she was like, well, I mean, and then I thought for a second as I was walking, and this is where I became baffled, because I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, well, you ain't sent me no Facebook message. You got my cell number. You ain't sent me no text message. No, I didn't get any kind of notification that it was something that you was having. So as I was walking, I just kept hearing in my spirit, I blocked it. And I said, okay. And I wasn't upset, because I was like, okay, well, God, I'm always agreeing with Him. If it's not meant for me, then you're not going to allow me to shift into a situation or place myself or compromise my faith or my ability or who I am just for temporary, momentary moment of happiness, a momentary moment of having fun, because that's not your purpose. And I'm not telling you guys that you cannot live being a Christian. That's not what I'm saying. See, sometimes when God is elevating you and promoting you to bigger and better things, it is certain things that we just cannot allow ourselves or our spirit man to dwell in. And so as I sat in the car, and I was just so taken back because of the elevation that I had just received back in August. And I was just like, wow. And then and God just been doing some amazing things in me. And I was just like, I was taken back because he reminded me, same time frame, same month, last year, 2021, he said, I'm going to separate you, and this is going to be your last season really being connected to these people. So not only was God like telling me how he blocked it, but God had not only blocked that connection, and I'm only able to intertwine with this individual if I walk into the store, because this is where she worked. And it's like I said, there's not a bad disconnect because there's nothing she done. It's just that God has me in a different place. That means that God have you in a different season, different era, different time, different mindset, different understanding, different revelation, different clarity in this season for your life. And it's okay. God just don't want you to be how I said the word baffled. He don't want you to be dismayed, because see, the thing that I love about God, he will help you identify when the separation or the shift have to take place, or when there's a block. So like I said, I was baffled because I didn't know that I was gonna be blocked, but he said I blocked it. See, we could go to places and intertwine with stuff, and we don't know what the enemy has plotted up for us. So just be okay with if you don't get an invitation somewhere, that you're not invited. Be okay if that you don't fit in with people or the situation, the circumstances. Just know that God has purposed you for such a time as this. Be okay with just traveling alone. Like I'm telling you, I'll make y'all laugh. So I had looked up online. I've been wanting to go to a concert for quite a while. And I had just happened to come across an ad that was promoting a concert. So I thought to myself, I was like, dang, this would be dope to go get up with some of my girlfriends and just travel. And that's what the Holy Spirit told me. God told me, go alone. Go by yourself. You don't need nobody to go with you. Go. And so I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, well, thinking in the back of my mind, I'm like, well, God, I don't know if that's wise for me to travel like that by myself to this big old arena. But see, this is where God is trying to teach us the momentum, how to walk on faith, walk in grace, walk in his protection, walk in his mercy. And so I reached out to my friend, and God was trying to tell me, he was like, you don't even got to go, because I made a comment, and I said, well, hey, if I go ahead and make plans for us to do this in December, I need for you to make sure you align yourself up with what I'm trying to do in this season. All right. Well, guess what happened? Here, God, again, won't you just go by yourself? And so I thought for a second, and God reminded me, same individuals. He said, everybody is not going to align with what you're trying to do. And you can't be disappointed or mad because they chose not to align themselves with whatever it is that you're trying to do. If that's not where they are in their mindset or in their heart or in their spirit or in that season, that means that was not intended for them to shift where you're going. Because in that alone time, in that walk, I am producing something through it. So go alone. Okay. So I'm talking about how God blocked it. Ty Triple said it. But God blocked it because it's always a reason behind everything why he blocks what he blocks. So I just want y'all to be encouraged on today. I enjoy what God gives me at times. I love being transparent with people because it helps them to edify the word of God on their life in their circumstances and situations. Just be encouraged on today, for the Lord is with you. God is going to do amazing things, but sometimes it's not going to always be with those people who you want to take with you. What I'm saying, you can't take man in every shift. There's going to be certain seasons where it's only just going to be a form-fitting season just for you. Like I was saying, I guess a couple of days ago, about my heart had to be fitting for where God is taking me. And he's reminding me, and he reminded me yesterday, he's like, I just want you to be okay with how I'm shifting your heart. That means he's saying, I'm circumcising your situation. I'm circumcising the circumstances. I'm circumcising the things that are around you, that surround you, things that are trying to attach themselves to you. I'm circumcising. He said, what I'm doing is, you got a fatty heart, and I'm slicing the fat all around it. And every time the fat tries to produce itself back on this steak, and I like T-bone steak, by the way. God said, what I'm doing, and I can see this in the spirit as I'm talking. God said, I'm slicing the fat off the steak. I'm carving it. So God is like really molding us for such a time as this. Like he's really, really molding and shaping us for something bigger, better, and greater. And a lot of times we don't understand it because we walk alone. And I'm not gonna lie and sit here and say, oh my God, like this is like the best walk ever. It is an amazing walk, but it's not easy and it's not hard. We just have to be willing to give God 100%. No matter how it look, no matter how it sound, how it make us feel, we just have to trust that God just that much that he will do exactly what he say he will do. And the reason why God causes us oftentimes to walk alone is because everybody can't handle the weight. They can't handle the weight of the blessing. They can't handle the weight of the promise. People just can't handle the weight. That's just what it is. But I want you to be encouraged about how God blocked things. And I'm gonna tell you, I be in church sometimes and I can feel the spirit of the Lord in my heart. And I can feel the spirit of, worriness, and spirit of the offense, and the spirit of being lonely, or the spirit of being overlooked. And God would just speak right into my spirit at times, and he would say, I just want you to be okay. Like you feeling a groove, but where I'm shifting you out of. And I know it's okay, it's normal to cry, because that's just the human part of you. But I need you to understand that I'm building you up even more spiritually. I'm girding you even more spiritually. I'm grounding you even more spiritually, because there's a level that I have to take you to, that you have to be beyond ready for it. Because I can't just let you walk in this thing and you're not even as girded as you need to be in your emotions. Like I'm just letting you know I'm stretching like a rubber band, and I'm plucking in it and making sure that it's tough. And it might be a little dry, a little rusted, but that's just letting you know that it's concrete. Can't nobody shake you from the left or the right, but it's concrete. Like it's getting you where you need it's getting you through the essence of where you need to be. Like God is doing something amazing. Like when I tell you, I had no idea of me blogging today, because like I said, I normally just blog once a week, but because God gave me a word in my spirit, I just felt compelled to talk about it. And while I'm out, and that's a lot of times why I always tell people I get such a revelation. I get a lot of clarity when I'm out driving, when I'm from my home, when my mind is not shifting on my problems, but I'm focusing on somebody else's situation. And I literally sat in the car and I was just praying for an individual, and I just and I asked God, I was like, but Lord, I need you to show me favor concerning this situation. I need you to open this door pertaining to this individual. And there's times where God will give us a word even pertaining to them. And then sometimes we don't understand it, because I was just, like I said, baffled. That's just the word for the day, just baffled. Because I'm like, God, I can't wrap my head around why this is not working. I can't wrap my head around why people are not responding. I need to understand. And sometimes God will just say, I just blocked it. It wasn't ordained for you to understand. They have to figure it out. And that's why I'm telling you, sometimes people will make you feel so bad because you're not able to give them what they want. And it's God's way of blocking to save your sanity, your peace, your tranquility, your joy. God is not going to allow people to steal your joy. It's just not going, you got to be okay with how it works. And so when it doesn't connect, just be okay. If he's blocking it, he's blocking it for a reason. Like I'm just in a peaceful place today with the Lord. And although the enemy has been trying to deal with cause me to struggle in my emotions when it's not necessary, when I don't need it, so I had to begin to bind it up in my spirit. I'm like, God, I pray for a clear thought today. I need to stay in that zone because of the type of work I work in. Sometimes we pick up spirits when we're dealing with the clientele, and I work with families and children, and so I'm always working with people with different types of spirits and different types of issues. So of course, a lot of times my emotions don't oftentimes be mine. It be because someone is actually going through, because they're worried, and I take it home with me sometimes. So I begin to pray before I get home to even block what I have attached myself to that don't even have no occupancy in my spirit realm. So I'm just encouraging you all on today. Like I said, I just wanted to talk. I just felt like getting these little 17 minutes out, enjoying the ride, and enjoying Jesus as he filled my mouth with the things to say. But I'm just, like I said, excited for what he's doing and how he rests in my heart on a daily basis, to be an encourager to other people. So it's always going to be ways to reach people, and how he's going to do it. So I pray this word encourage you all. May God bless you, and may the Lord keep you. And just like I said, be okay with how God blocked it, because he blocked it. He did. He really, really did. He really capped his style. So his way is better. May God bless you. Love you. Oh, and by the way, subscribe to my page. Like, look, we're gonna blow up together, so I need y'all to communicate with me. We're gonna blow up together, honey. Subscribe. All right, y'all, I have to go because I'm about to walk into another home. I'm still driving, but I'm getting ready to pull up to another house. All right, have a blessed one.